Approving and supervising guardianships and conservatorships, involuntary commitments, and adoptions. These are key duties of the probate judge, and this often involves difficult judgments weighing conflicting interests and concerns that are at the heart of family structure. What experience and/or education do you have that would prepare you to perform this duty fairly and effectively?
Again, as I've said already, I've been in the legal field for 26 years. This is something that I've handled. It's a redundant thing, and it's something that I've handled thousands of times. In fact, I currently, at this moment, have multiple guardianship and conservatorship cases pending before our probate judge. I've had that we're still working on. Back in 2009, when I first started practicing law, I served as the guardian ad litem for respondents who are the persons who's alleged to be mentally ill and a threat to himself or to others, and is in need of and is not able to make their own decisions, and is in need of someone else to make decisions for them. I have been involved in this process for so long, I almost can sit here and recite the code section as far as the process that's required to make this happen. I have been also, in addition to handling probate courts, I have been a family law lawyer for many years. I have handled divorce and custody cases. I represented children, I represented elderly, I represented people from all walks of life. I have gone into some very complex situations, some not as complex, and I've had to be that person's voice. I've had to be that person that calms those people, because when something tragic happens in your life and something completely disrupts your life and it was unexpected, you've got to have a calmness. And I've been that calmness. I've been that person that has talked with our people and helped to bring some peace into their life and to give them hope and let them know that we're going to get through this process.
So this is one of those areas where all of my experience comes into play. So guardians, people you assign to protect the body of the individual conservator, somebody you assign to protect their finance. So, and then the commitments for those with mental illness. So as an accountant, as a counselor, as a crisis intervention professional, I can evaluate what those tasks are required for a guardian or a conservator and make sure that those people have those skill sets, in addition to the law very, very eloquently lists who can and can't be guardians and conservators. But I can make sure that they have the necessary skills to perform those duties. As the crisis intervention specialist and the first mental health officer, I had to do a lot of commitments. I did 72-hour holds, but I also did commitments for any law enforcement agency in the county on call 24/7. I dealt with people that were suicidal. I talked to them on the phone, through the door, and in person, and was able to get them a hospital bed when needed. When available, really when available. And I know how to deal with people that are in crisis. I know how to de-escalate. I teach that at the law enforcement academies. De-escalation skills, active listening skills. So I think all of that experience plays into when you're evaluating who can be a guardian, who can be a conservator, and the commitment process is very, very important. I could go on for way more than 30 seconds and tell you what to do in the mental health system, but thank you.
Most of my practice right now does fall under the family law cases. And family law, I'm also a guardian ad litem. For anyone that doesn't know what a guardian ad litem is, a guardian ad litem is an attorney who represents someone that maybe can't speak for themselves. So it could be a child, it could be an adult who they're trying to decide whether they're mentally competent or not. The guardian ad litem is a little different because if I'm your attorney, for the most part, I'm going to have to do what you want me to do. A guardian ad litem has to do what's in that person's best interest. And that may not always be what they want. So some of my experience stems from the fact that I am a guardian ad litem. I have represented children. I have represented people who are facing possible commitment. And all of that helps prepare me for this. As far as some of the rest of it, let's see, adoptions, I have done several adoptions. I have several adoptions pending in the probate court right now. I have an adoption that I'm personally involved in that's mine, that I'm involved in right now. So I have experience there as well. And as far as guardianships and conservatorships, one of the main things you have to do, just like some of the other things we talked about, is you have to follow the code. It is written in the code. And I think it's important that you try not to stray from the code. I think the hardest part of that is gonna be decide, you have to listen to both sides. You have to listen to all sides. And you have to make the best decision you can. But you also have to do it while you follow the law and while you follow exactly what the code says you have to do. So that's my experience with this process.